something off a poster. That girl is a dime, they say. That girl is a gun to my holster. And she's running through my mind all day.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. How are you today? So before I start the meeting, I'll make sure to all of you. Our previous meeting, I give you all an assignment to watch a movie with the title Freedom Writers, right? So in this section, in today's meeting, we're going to learn something from that movie that you guys have been watched before. Okay, so because all of you have been watched it, who is here can explain to me, to the class, what Freedom Writers is about?
Me, ma'am. Freedom Writers is a film that tells about the struggle of a teacher in changing the view and mindset of his student in facing the world.
Okay, thank you for your good answers, Eko. So you say that Freedom Writers is a film about a teacher who struggles to change the views and the mindset of her students. Yes, that's right. But anyone can give me another answer, maybe?
Papa, ma'am. Freedom Writers is a film that tells about racism and youth violence that occurs in the United States and the teacher that bringing the change in it.
Great answer, Papa. Thank you. So, because we all already know what about this film is, can you give me an explanation about the moral values contained in this film? This film highlights the racism and violence that occur among teenagers in the 1990s in the United States, especially in the Long Beach city. So, what can you learn from this film? Someone please explain to me according to your respective opinion. Please.
Moral value that I get from Freedom Writers film is a powerful process that brings out student common humanity by increasing their understanding of others.
Good explanation, Fafa. Thank you. Another explanation maybe before I give a feedback.
The moral value that I can take from this film are firstly, education can change how a person acts and thinks. Secondly, racism and violence that occur in an environment can be overcome in a various ways, one of which can be started by changing the point of view and mindset.
Nice explanation. Thank you. So, from some of your friends' explanation, we can see that education has a very important role in various things, including changing the characters and mindset towards something. Education can also brings out students' humanity by increasing their understanding of others. In addition, we can also know that the role of the teacher is also very influential in the world of education, especially in this case. Next, because there are a lot of casts, a lot of character in those film, I give you all a chance to choose your own favorite character on that film, on the Freedom Writers film, and give me the lessons that we get from that character. You first, please.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So I choose Erin Cruel character, or commonly called Mrs. G on the film. The lesson that I can take from this character is her persistence and hard work in teaching bad students in her class who initially hate each other because of their racial difference, so that they can become students who can respect each other with diverse backgrounds. It's an amazing achievement, I think. I choose Eva. One of the students who was quite prominent in the film. Eva talks me about a big change. Previously, she may have had a traumatic past due to seeing her father shot in front of her eyes suddenly, which was one of the factors that caused her to become a violent and disobedient teenager. But it turns out that she was able to change for the better because of Mrs. G and her own efforts, of course. Eva is finally able to become a person who doesn't look at a person's face and background, and she even dares to reveal the truth.
What a great explanation, guys. Thank you. So, in addition to racism, violence, and the importance of education, in the film Freedom Writers, we can also see the struggles of a teacher, the student changes, traumatic events in the past, even the activities carried out by students in achieving a big change in their lives. What we discussed earlier is the form of the intrinsic elements in the film. Now, we move to the extrinsic elements. We're going to get into the extrinsic elements in the film. We'll discuss it, the extrinsic elements. So, what issues can we take from the film? Can anybody tell me?
Racism, ma'am. Post-traumatic, ma'am. Education. Violence.
That's right. Racism, education, post-traumatic, and violence. Maybe also being a good friend and being a good teacher. Of the several extrinsic elements that have been mentioned earlier, before, which element do you think is the most interesting for us to discuss first? Okay, post-traumatic issues. It seems that a lot of people here, a lot of students here relate to post-traumatic. Okay, so we all know that past events are post-traumatic that leave deep scars in our hearts, and memories that sometimes interfere with our activities are included into the form of trauma. Usually, this post-trauma can affect the person in the future. If not handled properly, this can continue into an old age. Sometimes, people's current behavior is based on their past experiences. People's current problems based on their unfinished past behavior. So it would be better if we solve the problems in our past first, so it will not bother our future. Okay, so because our time is up, I will give you an assignment for the next meeting. You have to write a handwritten essay about your past experiences that have not been finished yet until now, and I will read the essay privately without anyone knowing it, and no one will get a best score in this assignment because this is based on your own experience. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
Okay, thank you for this meeting. If you guys have questions about the material, about the film Freedom Brothers more, you can contact me because our time is up. So thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.